Yeah, whichever one you want. And
hello, everybody. Hi, guys. I'm so glad you're here. I'm gonna come down here and just talk to you. How about that?
thanks, man.
I'm so happy to be here. What a great day. Have you seen anything exciting out there yet? I want to go out and walk around a little bit and just see all the stuff. For those of you that just kind of wandered in and you kind of wondered what was going on here, my name is Vic Mignogna. It's Italiano. I know it looks a lot of extra letters in there and it's hard to pronounce, but it's much easier than it looks. And but you can just call me Vic. You don't have to worry about the last name. I'm a voice actor for a lot of different series, over 300 actually, different video games and animated series. And I also just started a web series called Star Trek Continues, which continues the original series right where it left off. If you remember, you may not, but... Hi guys! That's a loud walkie-talkie.
That was Laura.
If you remember, Captain Kirk used to say at the opening, these are the voyages of the Starship Enterprise. It's a 5-year mission. Well, they ended after 3 years. So we thought, wouldn't it be cool to continue and finish the 5-year mission up? So that's what we're doing. We've got 3 episodes online right now. Has anyone seen any of them? Anybody seen Star Trek Continues at all? Go home and watch! Fast, quickly. It's a lot of fun. It looks and feels exactly like the original series. And we've got episodes 4 and 5. They're coming next month. And I get to fulfill my childhood dream of playing Captain Kirk. So I'm excited about that. But I want to spend as much time talking with you guys about anything you want to talk about. So that's basically me. Some of you wrote me also. I write and produce music professionally. I sing the theme songs to a lot of animated series that I've been a part of. And I do live concert events at conventions occasionally. And a lot of you guys wrote me emails and you asked me if I was going to be bringing any of my music, CDs and stuff here, which I did. And I'll have them at the autograph session, which I'm fairly certain is going to be pretty soon after this panel is over. But I want to spend as much time talking with you guys as I can, so... Oh, what's he have to say? Okay. So let's just talk to you about anything you want to talk about. Does anybody have any questions about anything at all? Yes?
If you have any questions, then put your hands up and I'll give you a mic.
This gentleman right here, in fact, I'm closer to him, so here.
Is this the phase 2 that they planned on doing back in the 60s? But
No. No, it's not. For those of you that don't know, it's kind of an interesting bit of information. In the early mid-70s, they were thinking of rebooting Star Trek with all the original cast. And it was going to be called Star Trek Phase 2. At the last minute, they kind of switched gears, and they decided they were going to make a motion picture instead of a TV series. So they made Star Trek the motion picture, then they made The Wrath of Khan, and Search for Spock, and The Whales, The Voyage Home, no. But no, what we want to do is we want to do those last 2 years and then leave all of the characters where they were when the motion picture picked them up. So Spock goes back to Vulcan to pursue the Colonor. Why did he do that? Why did he leave the ship? Why did McCoy quit the service? Why did Kirk take a desk job? Captain Kirk, why would Captain Kirk leave the Enterprise? Something pretty serious, right? Well, no, he would have, yeah, he was offered a promotion, but what would ever cause the adventurous Captain Kirk to walk away from his love of the Enterprise, to sit at a desk in an office? Something pretty serious. So we've started crafting our stories, and that's where we're going to take the crew, so that at the end of the 5-year mission, they will be all set up for where we found them in the motion picture. Question? Anybody? Anything you want to talk about? Ask me.
So how did you get started in voice acting or
What is your name?
Bethany?
Hello, Bethany.
Hi.
It's a pleasure. You know what? I got started in voice acting very much by accident, if you can believe that. I had been acting since I was very, very young, doing stage and musicals and on camera, but mostly theater type stuff. And about 15 years ago, I was working with a video production in Houston, Texas, and this guy that I was working with said, "Hey, you have a lot of acting experience, don't you?" And I said, "Yeah." And he said, "You ought to go and audition for this place here in Houston. They buy these Japanese cartoons and they dub them into English, and they're looking for actors." And I was, my response was, "Really? That sounds like fun." So I went and auditioned, and I got cast as Vega in Street Fighter 2. Anybody remember Street Fighter 2? Vega was that Spanish matador kind of guy with the mask and the claw. So I did that, and I thought, well, that was a fun little one-time weird thing to do. And at the time, I was writing and producing music professionally. And a few weeks after I finished Street Fighter 2, that company called me back and they said, "We got another show and we would like you to come and play a role in another show." Okay. And then another show, and another, and another. And then I started meeting people from different studios in Dallas, Los Angeles, New York, and they just invited me to come in and audition for different shows. So fast forward 15 years, and I've been doing it for a long time in a lot of different things, and I feel very blessed. I think that's a good word. Not lucky, blessed. I'm very, very, very grateful for what I get to do. And I recognize that it is a blessing. You know what I mean? It's not something that I made happen by sheer force of will. No, a door opened. A door opened and I kind of innocently stepped in, not knowing what was on the other side, and all of this wonderful stuff followed. Which brings me to you. I mean, how many people would love the opportunity to come to this beautiful city and meet new people, make new friends, and it's all because of the voice acting work that I've done. So quite by accident is how I got into it. But I was prepared as far as skills were concerned. I've been acting long enough that, and as a singer as well, you tend to emote through your voice. So I had been preparing all my life to be a voice actor. I just didn't know it. Yes.
Hi.
Hi, what's your name?
I'm Al.
Oh, how beautiful. Nice to meet you. I'm gonna sit here and we'll talk. What's your question?
I wanted to ask about Fullmetal Fantasy.
Oh my gosh, ask me!
Is it going to WCD?
Yes! Okay, she just brought up something, and I love you. Thank you. I have to tell you something. How many of you have ever heard of a show called Full Metal Alchemist? Okay, fun show, right? I love that show. I love that show. So back when I was recording that show, about, 10 or 15 episodes in, I was having so much fun that I wanted to cosplay as Edward Elric. Of course, I'm way too tall and old. But I came up with this story whereby a grown man could start turning into an anime character. And after I came up with the idea, I started thinking to myself, I don't think I've ever seen any kind of a live action film with voice actors cosplaying as their characters. And then I started thinking, I wonder if some of the other voice actors from Full Metal Alchemist would like to do this with me. And so I asked them, and they were very excited about it. So we got together one weekend in Houston, Texas, and we made something called Full Metal Fantasy. It's a live action parody film with the voice actors from Full Metal cosplaying as their characters. It's so fun. It's a hoot. It's very funny. And it's never been available. Like I would show it at conventions sometimes, but it's never been on YouTube, it's never been for sale anywhere. It was just a fun little thing. And a couple of years ago, I was putting together a live concert DVD. As I said, I do music concerts occasionally, conventions. I'll sing songs from Full Metal, or on High School, D and Angel, Dragon Ball Z. And when I do these concerts, I often show Full Metal Fantasy at the same time. So I decided that I was going to put Full Metal Fantasy on the concert DVD, which I brought with me. I have one with your name on it. So if that sounds interesting to you, and I promise you, it's a lot of fun. And it's a very rare little precious jewel from our Full Metal Fantasy, our Full Metal Alchemist days. And a lot of good music. I'll have those at the autograph session as well. So thank you for asking, sweetheart. Thank you. Question? Anybody? Hey, hi. It's my new friend.
Yes. Can I ask you, what do you think is your favorite voice acting job you've done in anime production?
Well, first of all, what's your name?
Nicola.
Nicola? Nice to meet you. Your hair is bigger than mine, which is not easy. What's my favorite voice acting job?
Yeah.
You know what? Can I tell you something? For the longest time, I was always afraid to answer that question. Because depending on who asks you that question, they're hoping for a different response, right? Like if somebody comes up to me, Nicola, and they're dressed as Winry from Full Metal Alchemist, and they say, "What's your favorite character?" You're kind of feeling like they want you to say Ed, right? So I would say, "Oh, Edward Elric." And then if somebody else comes up dressed as Yuki from Vampire Knight and says, "What's your favorite character?" Chances are they're hoping that I'm going to say Zero from Vampire Knight. So I was always afraid to answer that question. And then something happened that changed everything for me. The last episode of Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. As I was standing there in the recording booth, and I was turning the pages in the script, and suddenly I realized I was at the last page. Oh my God, there's no more. And I've been playing this little pipsqueak for how many years, right? 52 episodes the first time, 61 episodes more in Brotherhood, video games, movies, OVAs, and I suddenly realized that I'd been playing Ed for a long time, and I loved him so much. I loved that whole series. So, Nicola, after I finished that last episode of Brotherhood, I decided that I had to tell people from then on that Full Metal is my favorite thing that I've ever done. But I have to tell you, Oron High School Host Club, very close second place. Oh my God, Tamaki? I love Tamaki so much. How many of you have never seen Oron High School Host Club? Go home and watch it immediately. It's so great. It's a great series. Have you seen it?
Yes.
You better. Go watch it. We promise? Okay, it's a deal. Question? Yes. Take that young lady a microphone.
Did you feel that you had to voice Ed any differently between the 2003 version and Brotherhood?
Great question. You know, when you ask most people, they'll say that Brotherhood is their favorite. If I were to ask you, which one did you like better of the two series, the original or Brotherhood? Most people say Brotherhood. Mostly because it's a little darker, it's a more dramatic story, it's a little more complex. I loved the original just because that was where I first met all of the characters. That was my first connection with all the characters. And, but as far as doing them differently, I didn't see it differently. For me personally, it was like an opportunity for Ed to go to new places and meet new people Like when we did Brotherhood, I was so excited. I'm like, oh my gosh, Ed gets to go to this new town. And Ed gets to meet this new character and that new character. He even gets to wear something besides that red coat. The poor kid gets to change clothes, finally. And so I kind of looked at it as an extension, as a continuation of the original series. So I didn't do them any differently, and I don't think the fans would have wanted me to. I think people really enjoyed the original series, and so Brotherhood was just kind of an elaboration, like more detailed, more in-depth story, and then at some point it kind of takes off in its own story. No, I didn't really treat them any differently. Good question. Thank you.